Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of With All Due Respect. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Marcus Flowers. Brother, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. Getting ready for some Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Same here, man. We got family in from out of town, and I just came back from Las Vegas. So yeah, we're pretty excited about Thanksgiving over here too, and I'm glad we get to see some family, and I hope all of you get to see some of your loved ones or your friends or whoever you choose to spend tomorrow with, or yourself. Love yourself. It doesn't matter, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Speaking
so, what did I miss?
Yeah,
what did I miss last week?
Missed a couple
so
of things.
much drama.
Missed a couple of things.
Just a few things. Yeah.
Before we get into that, let's before we get into all of that, the things that you missed as far as on the political side, let's talk about, some of the cultural topics. And, we're just talking about Thanksgiving. Why don't we get into that first?
What I was waiting for is the turkey pardon and turkeys. I don't know about you, but it gave me everything I was expecting. I believe we have a video actually that we can show.
Yeah, let's
the turkeys being pardoned today go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them. I shouldn't say this. I was gonna call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those two people. I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling.
No, they don't have enough felonies or fraud cases or assaults against them.
I mean, how do you mess up a softball like that? Just get out, pardon the turkey, keep it light, Yeah, I get Trump. That was his attempt at humor, but really
horrible. Per usual. And you know what that is, by the way, in case all of you are wondering what happened when he had that moment of glitch or whatever it was, that's what happens when Donald Trump runs into a word he doesn't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Fact check me. Go watch. Every time he runs into something like that, you can tell he runs into a word he doesn't know, and he's like, he pauses and then he has to play, he does what he always does. He's a con man. That's what he does.
Well, you talk about, everybody used to talk about how Joe Biden would reset. And Joe Biden stuttered for years.
Yep.
That's why when he would pause and says he wasn't looking for the word, he was resetting because he would stumble. But
the funniest part
a little bit. But it's not because I'm looking for words. I'm making sure it's really what I want to say. That's what happens when I reset. But Trump,
I think a lot of good speakers, even Barack Obama, why he has, his speaking is like a metronome, which for me is why it's so appealing. It's just, it's easy to listen to. But even him, if you really listen to his speech patterns and everything, you can see that he's thinking about what he's going to say next. Because just like you, and I've talked about this a lot, and I'm sure you've experienced too, as a black man in the public light, there's things he can't say and get away with it like somebody like Donald Trump is. It's just a fact. So people like you and President Obama, you guys have this filter that you have to use that somebody like me doesn't. I can go on my little rants and I'm just the crazy white guy. But when it's on the other side, it's a very different public opinion.
Exactly. I mean, you got to be constantly aware of what it is that you're saying and how it's going to come off to the audience that you're speaking to. And, I still bristle at being called a politician because I don't feel like I'm a politician.
Public servant.
It's always been about service for me, So,
but let me ask
you.
I do
have to think about it when I'm out speaking to a crowd or addressing people at anything. All right, how's this going to come off to the crowd? And, I like to keep it conversational when I'm talking to people, but, guys like President Obama, who, he's, I'd say, one of the world's best orators. Guys like him and Senator Raphael Warnock, who's, an ordained minister. These guys, those are the ones that I look up to as far as how they do it, because it feels so natural. And guys like Bill Clinton as well, who had
Bill Clinton was a good speaker. Yeah. Not I put Obama on the same levels like JFK. JFK was always, listening to him was always, for me, very appealing. And I feel the same way with Obama. Let me ask you this, though, very direct question. And I'm not just talking about when you're running for office. I'm just talking daily life. Mm-hmm. How many times do you need to censor yourself specifically because you don't want to come off as the angry black man?
In daily life? In my daily life, these people know me, so that's they know who I am, and it's never about anger.
Yeah, more like public settings and
public settings. I would say at least once or twice. I may have to, maybe dial it back. Not say that everything runs through the filter first, like you said. It runs through it first. How's this going to come off? How do I really want to answer this question? Because that's where you get into it when you're answering.
You're going to escalate or de-escalate. Yeah,
exactly. Who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to, I won't even say MAGA Republicans, because I don't talk to a whole lot of them, but I do talk to Republicans. And,
you have to in your position. Yeah.
Well, a lot of it for me is about, I wouldn't say censoring what I'm about to say. It's about managing emotions.
And the message, maybe?
Yeah, because you want people to receive it the right way. You got to manage your emotions so that you're not getting angry with what they're saying
and still appeal to their emotions. Yeah.
But it also helps how they respond, and it gets them to listen to you. First of all, you're managing your emotions, or you're letting your emotions take over, then things are going to escalate.
8 times out of 10, that's going to be bad.
It's just going to be just a shouting match. It can get there. And again, people, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, so take some notes. Manage your emotions at the Thanksgiving table when you get to that crazy uncle who's going to say something that's going to piss you off.
Very true, Scott.
Manage your emotions. Think about what it is that you're going to say. But listen first of all, then pick it apart a little bit, but pick it apart in a respectful way, so Thanksgiving doesn't go off the rails.
Yeah,
but that's what I do in everyday life.
Luckily, we don't have that issue in my family. But I feel for all of you out there that do. But I think it's interesting because as Trump's pardoning these turkeys, I think it's important that we also note that he has pardoned a lot of frauds over the last 10 months. Like, he's pardoned a lot of felons. He's pardoned 1,500 people that, had some kind of conviction due to January 6th.
Yeah.
He pardoned a crypto king that has direct ties to his family and then claimed, I had no idea who it is. Yeah. Him and his entire family are making a fortune off of crypto. Why we are all sitting around playing these stupid games and battling each other. This dude's seriously sitting on Mountain High, laughing at all of us as they count their crypto.
Mm-hmm. Crypto is going through a rough time right now. I think a lot of people have lost their shirts. That's not to say it won't come back at some point in time, but look at who's getting rich right now.
Yep. The more you deregulate it, the worse it's going to be for the everyday people. Yeah. That's just a fact.
Look, I'm a compliance guy. I don't believe in regulation for the sake of regulation, but I believe in good regulation that makes things better.
Yep.
And for crypto,
and it has to address something directly.
And, if you look at the real players in crypto, they want that regulation.
I think so. Uh-oh. Well, guys, I think maybe Marcus froze. But to what he was saying, they definitely want that level of, I think, authenticity is the wrong word. Do I got you back? There we go.
There I am. I got people in the house, so
I know I had to kick mine off
here where I am pretty bad anyway. So
Day before Thanksgiving, everybody's on it. But I think if they start getting that, it'll bring legitimacy to crypto that a lot of, like as you said, a lot of those people want. They want that legitimacy. They want to be big players in the game. They want to be in the banking arena. And unfortunately, when you have, my personal opinion, not banking advice or anything like that, from the outside looking in, it just seems like the people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk that come in and, launder their money and do all these crypto schemes, they're actually hurting the market for people that, are actually just trying to invest in it and do what a lot of us think they're doing. So, again, I agree with you. I think a lot of people want to see some type of regulation, but over-regulation, of course, is something to always focus on as well.
Again, like I said, I don't believe in regulation this is coming from a compliance and logistics guy. Over-regulation,
redundancy is stupid.
It's dumb. It just causes more issues.
And costs money.
But regulating things that help people, I'm all for that.
Or regulating things that are being used to hurt people.
Yeah.
Just like,
there's that
we're gonna talk a lot about military today, and one of the things that I was always told, and I found out was very true, is that a lot of regulations in the military are written in blood. And what that means is that somebody came before you, as stupid as you may think that regulation or that rule or that direction is, the reason it's in that book is because somebody before you did it wrong.
And guys, let me tell you, I'm as a military guy, those of you who aren't vets or currently serving, I mean, this took up about a good 5 minutes of every day where we just talk about this rule and that rule.
Yep.
I mean,
constantly.
We didn't do coffee or water around the water cooler, but having our coffee, just getting into the shop.
Safety breakdowns once a week.
Exactly.
All of it.
We talk about, before we got into our day's work, this stupid rule or that stupid rule, or why are we doing this? Embracing the suck.
You'd highlight like one a day, because again, it just seemed like if you do it one a day, then it's not a big deal. But it also makes it stick out in everybody's mind because it's just like for some reason, you remember that you were in, stand up that day and your sergeant said this and it just sticks out in your mind. So, I always thought that was a pretty clever way.
Good 5 minutes of every day of my military career was devoted to it.
And it wasn't always safety. It was, sometimes it was something else, just, how to go to school, while you're on active. Like it was always something. But again, I was pretty blessed with my supervisors over my career. So I think I just ended up having good people that did it the right way. But
likewise.
Let's talk about something that isn't a joke, though. And that is the cost of food and many other things going into Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Man.
Are you seeing these massive price dips that Donald Trump is touting every single day in Georgia?
I'm definitely not seeing it after buying a turkey and a ham. I can guarantee you, and I'm not going to say how much I spent because I know a lot of you are looking at the same cost.
Yeah, we're all looking at the same stuff
to what they were this year, and it feels like it's more than 100% increase to me. If I just go back and I'm like, man, turkey did not cost this much last year.
If you put it together, if you put the ham and turkey together, that's. If each one increased by 25, 30%,
we're talking almost $200 just for those two things. We're not talking about the other stuff that you have to have for Thanksgiving, but just for those two things.
I think it was like a 10-pound turkey was like $88.
Yeah, and then throwing the ham on top of that.
Yeah. Like
I know it was. I think I spent like $170 for the two. That's crazy.
It is, and that's just the two meats. That's not even everything else. Like
you got the chicken, and I like chicken as well. I like to have the variety there.
I need pumpkin pie, and for all you pumpkin pie haters out there, there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me.
I like both.
I just want to make that note.
Pie. I want both of those.
I don't like sweet potato pie. So actually, I take that back. Somebody made sweet potato pie that I actually really liked. So I no longer say that.
Actually, it's not a sweet potato pie we're doing this year. It's a sweet potato souffle and the pumpkin pie.
See, now that actually sounds good.
the marshmallows on top of it. Yeah,
I like that.
But anyway,
That actually sounds.
I
good.
digress. I'm a little hungry right now, so don't get me talking about food. But still,
I know. But I think majority of us agree, because the one thing I've seen online is, you have your comments, your likes, and your shares, and when Donald Trump and the Republicans come out and say, "Oh, the price of gasoline is down to the lowest since COVID. The prices of your turkey and everything else is like 50% lower." Like, dude, where are you shopping? And that's another thing. Maybe, just maybe, we as Americans shouldn't pay a whole lot of attention to what people who haven't been in a grocery store in 10 to 15 years, maybe we shouldn't listen to what they have to say about prices, because they're not the ones shopping. You think Donald Trump's going into a grocery store? You think that man knows what a loaf of bread and milk costs?
Oh yeah, I remember
Come on.
In his first term, we were talking about showing your ID at the grocery store. Are you kidding me? Were you buying beer? I mean, that's the only time you would have to show an ID, but he was talking about like buying bread. So
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so much craziness to get to, but what a lot of people probably want to see two veterans talk about is everything that's going on with the seditious six, as the Republicans are calling them, but more, I think directly Mark Kelly, who is my senator here in Arizona, who I voted for, who I will happily freaking vote for again. He has 100% earned my vote. And again, remember, folks, you're not going to agree with everything a politician does. You're not going to agree with every person a politician takes money from, but we have to draw a line somewhere, folks. So let's pay attention to the game we're playing today, which is they're trying to go after Mark Kelly and any other veteran. Again, let's make this what it is. They are trying to set a precedent that any veteran that or active duty soldier that basically comes out against the government, because that's what Trump is, he's the government, that they are to be punished. So how is that free speech?
It's not. That's what I was going to say. You're running into those issues even before you get to the UCMJ. And for those
we're not even talking about that yet.
We're using Uniform Code of Military Justice before you even get to UCMJ. We're talking about civilians. I mean, I'm going to keep this on.
Great context.
Mark Kelly's a senator, and you had all these guys are senators and members of
retired
Congress.
captain. Yep.
They're all veterans. And let's be clear about what they said. They said, you don't have to, and I disagree with what they said a little bit, and I'm gonna tell you why in just a second.
That'll be good.
You don't have to obey illegal orders.
Yeah.
What they should have said is don't obey illegal orders. Because that's exactly what it says. Follow the law.
Yeah.
You swore an oath to follow the law and the Constitution, to support and defend it. Don't. And we're talking about sergeant's time and all the safety stuff. We do this every day. We talk about what are legal orders and
chain of command,
all of it, and all of that. Soldiers know. They know.
It's drilled into us for sure.
So I mean, it's almost like they were saying water is wet.
Yeah.
I'm
so glad you said that.
You want to call a sitting senator back to active duty to try
call him a traitor. They're calling him a traitor.
Calling him a traitor. I mean,
saying that he's seditious.
It's well beyond the pale. I mean, it's
Come
ridiculous.
On, guys.
But saying it's seditious, but you want to call him back to active duty to
court-martial him. And by the way, it's spelled M-A-R-T, not M-A-R-S-H. Y'all are killing me.
No, I'm not
killing me.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to spell court-martial, how about you sit this conversation out? How about that?
I loved that one when Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about martial law. And we'll get to Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Exactly, dude. Like the minute I see that spelled wrong, I'm like,
store. So.
But here's the thing about Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly has dedicated pretty much his entire life
to service,
to some type of service to this country. I personally count astronauts, real astronauts, not Katy Perry, I count that as serving our country in some way. Every time they go up there, they're wearing the flag, they're representing our country. To me, that's service.
It is.
So
it's absolutely service.
This man has been in service since like I think it was like 80 something.
No,
Like
he's definitely.
He did 20 something years as a Navy captain. He flew a crap ton of active duty missions, and he was an astronaut that flew on. That was a pilot astronaut. Yep. Like, there's no comparison between Mark Kelly and pretty much anybody in the Trump administration.
Yeah.
Like, they are all inept, like amoebas compared to Mark Kelly. So
think about how elite and small of a group that is.
He leads it.
You know, like, if you're a Marine or a Navy or an Air Force pilot who
you're the top of the top.
You are. I mean, that's way beyond Top Gun. You know, combat training. Yeah,
it's past Tom Cruise shit. Yeah,
way past that. You are an astronaut. It means you're the smartest. It means you're a hell of a pilot. First of all, you've done all of those. You got all of those accolades. You become an astronaut. That's a very small group of people who can say, "Hey, I've been to space," or "I flew a rocket ship to space."
And for Gen X and millennials, that means cream of the crop.
That's it.
You might remember that one. But let's dial back to just two veterans looking at this for what it is. And you mentioned the UCMJ, and I was looking for something specific that said we as active duty soldiers are not required to follow unlawful orders. And I think that word unlawful is where a lot of people are getting tripped up, because you have social media accounts that leave that word out.
They leave it out. And I think they're doing it intentionally.
They absolutely are. But unfortunately, their base will not go verify if that's correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, then when you show them it's correct, they either block you or attack you personally instead of going, oh, you're right. They're literally Article 92 in the UCMJ, why it does say that we are bound to follow lawful orders. It goes on to say in the next paragraph that we also have a duty not to follow any unlawful orders. Like an example, if my captain comes in and tells me to go over and attack a hospital full of patients or a church or a mosque, I have a duty to say no. I'll give you an even more extreme example some of you might remember. If I, as a soldier, am told to march an entire race of people into gas chambers for mass execution, I have a duty to refuse that order. And if you go back in history and remember, the people that said I was just following orders were still held liable for their actions. So when Mark Kelly and every other veteran out there, which I co-sign, come out and say, you have a duty not to follow that man's unlawful orders. And when they ask us, where is your example of unlawful orders? Point to all the cases that Trump has lost, stating that his use of the National Guard being deployed into states without the governors even wanting it is in fact against the law. So yes, he has in fact given the military orders that they should not have followed.
I mean, and officers are trained on this. I mean, it's, you know, those guys who went to West Point, it's on plaques for them saying, you know, don't give unlawful orders, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, you gave examples of combat, and everybody knows, you know, we have rules of engagement and contact, ROE. You don't fire on unarmed civilians, you know.
Yep.
You know, you got to, you know, in Iraq, we felt like, man, they got to violate so many ROE before we can fire back. You know, a lot of people felt like it was tying their hands, but it kept a lot of people out of trouble.
Yeah.
But let's give some everyday examples. Some things that are just, you know, you would think are silly, like if a platoon leader or a squad leader told a soldier to, hey, why don't you go into the Class 6 or the PX or whatever, post exchange. Class 6 is where you buy alcohol on military bases, for those of you who don't know, and steal a couple of pints of tequila. If your leader told you to go do that, are you going to do it? Of course not. That's an unlawful order. That's him telling you to go and break the law. So something as simple as that, or telling you to take, you can take the weapon from the arms room and take it home. You live off base, take it to your apartment or take it to your house or whatever. Go ahead. I'm giving you an order to do that. Okay, well, you know that's an unlawful order, because the weapon goes missing on a base. They're shutting the whole base down and locking it down. So you know right then and there, well, you know, my leader's giving me an unlawful order. I'm duty bound not to follow that order because it is against the law. These are just like simple everyday examples that people can understand a little bit better than, you know, war type examples.
And I want to expand on that.
It's stupid, and you know, even if it's coming from the president of the United States,
it doesn't matter who it's coming from.
Kill unarmed civilians. You know, telling the military to go attack unarmed civilians just because.
It's just like, hey, all my MPs out there, you know this is true. So if you go to a military base and a captain rolls up or anybody rolls up, high ranking, 4-star general, doesn't matter. They come up and they don't have their ID and they look at an MP and say, I'm a 4-star general, just let me on the base. They're not going to.
It's not going to happen.
And as much as that person sits there and says, do you know who I am? That MP is going to look at him and say, it doesn't matter who you are, sir or ma'am.
Be a private, E2, E3.
Yep, it doesn't. And they will. And I have seen it. It was a captain, but I have seen it. MP literally pulled them out of the car and jacked them up because they were just belligerent. So, I mean, it's insane. But I want to go back to one thing you said. If a gun goes missing from the armory, they shut the base down. Now.
Lock it down.
They lock it down.
Just shut it down. They lock it down.
Now, here's what I want everybody to really think about for a second. Every military base, no matter what country it's in, does not allow everyday soldiers to carry firearms on base. Matter of fact, there are some very strict rules about having firearms
or even owning them.
You're
supposed to turn them into the MP station or the provost marshals.
And check them out as you leave base.
Check them out exactly.
So, if the military doesn't trust the soldiers that they trained with guns on their own base, why is it that the military has stricter gun regulations than our freaking country does, and we're all trained in them?
Yeah. We're all trained to be killers and use weapons. We're all weapons experts.
We've all been trained in them. Multiple platforms.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let us have them on base.
No.
So
you check them in and out.
Here and you say anybody in the country should be able to carry a gun into a McDonald's and whatever. Like, honestly, there needs to be a fucking line. The military even knows that.
Oh, yeah, kind of common sense, but hey.
Speaking of the military, though, the FBI is now investigating Mark Kelly and the other people that have put out these videos. And there have been many other veterans that have come out and done similar videos, made similar posts. I've done it. So, I mean, if they're going to come for us, I think the one thing they're starting to realize is there's a lot of us.
Yeah, they're going to. Oh, yeah.
So, FBI, come investigate us all you want. Freedom of speech still applies. That's actually what Mark Kelly and the rest of us literally served for, so that you dumb motherfuckers, could continue saying the things that you say with impunity and zero accountability. Speaking of accountability, Donald Trump misses it again. How does this dude keep getting away with this? Like, your great state of Georgia, I have nothing against them, but I was depending on them to continue down this road after everything that we saw from the people there that were running the election, how they attacked them all. Like, if that gets thrown out,
I still maintain that Fani Willis was right for bringing it. And then they
100%
attacked for her, against her. Apparently at work now, Judge McAfee signed off on with this new prosecutor who came in and said, okay, we're dropping the case because we got a sitting president here. But he wasn't a sitting president when Fani brought the case.
A sitting president should not get away with fucking crimes just because he's the president. Just like you shouldn't respect the president just because he's in office. No, his actions need to get respect from me. He doesn't respect me. He doesn't respect Marcus. He doesn't respect veterans. And he stood on stage in front of the White House and said that he hates half the country, that he views all liberals and Democrats and anybody against him as independents as the enemy.
Yeah.
And he wants his military to follow orders regardless of whether they're legal or not legal. So if he's calling me and liberals his enemy and then asking the military to follow orders that may be questionable, I've got to connect those two dots and think that you motherfuckers are coming for us. And if that's the case, good luck.
Yeah. I mean, call us all back on active duty and try and court-martial us. We're going to run into a whole lot of nothing. They're going to spend a whole lot of taxpayer dollars for nothing.
Yep. And I'm still waiting to be sued for calling Donald Trump a felon, a fraud, a rapist, and accused pedophile. Still waiting to be sued.
Yeah. I mean, DOJ and FBI with all of these investigations and cases that they're looking at bringing to people, it's a nothing burger as far as I'm concerned. You know, you're going to run into those free speech issues, and it's we're already talking about the courts right now.
You want to talk about political theater and political persecution? This is actually it. Like they used to say Biden and Democrats are doing it. Now you're actually seeing what it looks like.
That's it.
Okay. So,
and we can get into, the courts being, the Supreme Court, at least, being an activist court, but
yeah,
part of me, I get
I can't even talk
the whole DOJ's letter on not going after an active or sitting president. I get that, but it was done the right way when these cases were in, and I blame Merrick Garland a little bit for this, for not acting fast enough. But all of this stuff was brought when he wasn't a sitting president.
Again, I don't understand.
He had thousands of documents in his bathroom, classified documents in his bathroom.
You cannot.
We all heard the phone call of him to Raffensperger saying, "Can you find me 11,780 more votes?"
And then what was it? The assistant that came out to the podium and completely lost his shit because people were getting threatened in his office.
Exactly. So
all that was for nothing. I really don't think people are grasping what just happened today.
Yeah.
All those people that literally didn't just put their jobs on the line, they put their personal safety on the line.
I think the term
tell us, the American people, what was happening.
Of justice. I think that's the term we're looking for.
It's insane. But speaking of insane,
accountability once again.
Yeah. But speaking of insane, I got to tell you something I didn't expect to see on my phone while I was in Vegas was Marjorie Taylor Greene resigning from Congress.
Yeah.
I damn near fell out of my chair when I saw that. I was in the break room, literally. And I couldn't talk politics, so it was so hard. But I know that I'm not even gonna put you in the hot seat here, because I know that you being in that area, you have to be a little more careful. Luckily, I don't. So let me just preface this is why it is our show. This is following is my opinion.
It's not the hot seat. I've got feelings about that. I'm not surprised, by the way. I'm not surprised you didn't, but go ahead.
I'm a little surprised because I'm wondering what polling is telling her that Democrats or liberals or even independents are going to accept her after everything that we have. There's so many videos that we can replay over and over, no matter what she runs for now. That
racism, the xenophobia.
Yeah, you're not going to be accepted.
the conspiracy theories that
it doesn't just go away.
Crap behind January 6th, the part she played in that. I mean, there's just so much.
Let's not forget, you helped a known felon and a rapist get into the White House, and you knew all those things about him.
You knew it.
So now you're going to come out and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for the part I played." No, you are a huge reason that we are here right now as a country.
Let's put down the knives, and I apologize for my part in the political rhetoric. These are all things I told her.
Thanks for apology, but you're still staying on outside.
These are all questions I asked her, and we wrote a piece, a Substack on it. I encourage you guys to go out and read that. Asking, and this was before she resigned. I said, "Hey, well, let's have a sit down and talk." And it hits harder after she resigned because I was never buying it. It's too cute by half. She was out playing the victim.
Yep.
I wasn't surprised when she announced that she was leaving Congress. She did 5 years worth of bullshit where, she played a part in the political discourse being where it is today.
Normalizing January 6th, all of it. Yep.
And then she kind of gets on the right side of things on one issue. I mean,
or two,
one or two issues where, these are things that I talked about when it comes to the district and rural health care and hospitals being shut down. I've been talking about this stuff since 2021.
Yeah.
And where was she then? She wasn't talking about it then. She was floating conspiracy theories.
She was given a list of issues to start talking about. Yeah.
All of a sudden she's on the right side of that. And you can be on the right side of things. And I'll agree with you. Fair is fair.
Well, I would hope that's an easy thing, to be honest.
It's an easy thing to do because we are talking about 14-year-old girls and victims who, let's call it what it is. They were raped. How are you at 14 and 16 going to consent to sex with adult men? So she's on the right side of that, but she gets attacked for it. And all of a sudden she's a victim. What's with the stuff that you said about me that caused my family to get attacked, for people to talk about raping my daughters and things like that? I didn't go out and play victim and say, "Oh, I can't do this." I mean, part of me knew that stuff was going to come because it's the environment that we're in nowadays.
We had that conversation
she
before
gets
we even
5
signed
or 6
up to
days
run.
or a couple of weeks worth of hate mail from MAGA after 5 years of not getting it from Democrats, and all of a sudden it's too much for her. She needs to resign. I call bullshit. It's all about her taking that. She sees the way the political winds are blowing, so she wants to take that America First lane. Because we see the cracks in MAGA right now. It's splintering, and it's over this Epstein stuff. She wants to take that America First lane. I guarantee you she's going to run for probably president. I don't think I know she probably can't win a statewide race here in Georgia as far as becoming a governor.
I would be surprised if she won statewide.
Or a Senate seat. She may try it, but I think she's going to try and run for president. That's
with gerrymander, with all the bullshit, she might be able to pull a Senate out of her butt, but president.
Well,
there's no way she wins.
Senate race.
Yeah,
it's statewide.
Look, there are not many Republicans in that party right now. Honestly, there are none. Let's call it what it is. Like J.D. Vance the Vance name is not going to carry the same weight as Donald Trump.
No,
for some reason, Donald Trump
saw how that worked out for Ron DeSantis. So.
Yeah, like. They've already tried, moving pieces in to try to get, these platforms spun up for Ron DeSantis and others. And when they see that it doesn't happen, they've got to revert back to Trump because they don't have anybody with that kind of name recognition and brand. Like, that's all this dude is.
For better
it's
or
all
worse,
brand. Like, he really
wholesale owned that party.
Dude, I want Donald Trump to sit down and pass a fucking 8th grade state test. 8th grade. I just want to see him take the test. Multiple cameras, no fucking breaks. Take that shit. We grade it right there on national TV. And if your ass can't pass it, you get removed from office. That's my challenge to Donald Trump. Take a fucking 8th grade test that an 8th grader should be able to pass with ease, since you're such a fucking genius, and let's see how well you do on that, because I've got $1,000 that says you won't pass it. Matter of fact, I got another $1,000 that says there will be words on there that you don't know how to pronounce.
Nobody's taking that bet because he's dementia done. I mean, you know.
Oh, he couldn't have passed that test 35 years ago.
Yeah, probably not. But
anyway. I don't know where that came from, but
we went from
the
good and bad in court to yeah.
But there's more.
That's how it goes, man. I mean,
we've talked about the bad stuff, which is Trump once again getting away with all of his nonsense. But I don't think he's necessarily getting away with it in public opinion at this point.
No,
I think he's losing that battle, thankfully.
No. But that's also a part of that Greene thing. She sees the way the political winds are blowing.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
I don't see many other people saying different either. Like pretty much everybody's like, oh, she's bailing the sinking ship.
So she's trying to take that America First, which America First MAGA.
She'll take whatever preserver's thrown her way at this point.
She's trying to take that lane over right now, and I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. You know, I know because of, you know, you and everything that we'll be following that just because it has to do with Georgia. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what her next play is. I don't think she carries presidency. I don't think she has those kind of numbers. Like you said, I don't think she has kind of numbers to even carry Georgia.
She doesn't make it out of she doesn't make it out of a presidential primary. No, that's my thought. I've been wrong about a great many things in my life.
I was wrong about president getting a second term. So,
yeah, you know, I didn't think Trump would win.
I thought January 6th would have been the final nail, but
yeah, I was wrong. Did I. But hey, this I don't think I'm wrong about.
Yeah, like I said, it will be interesting to see, you know, what happens next with her, because we haven't seen the last of her. I know that for a fact. She's not just gonna go quietly into the night and say, okay, I did my time or whatever. Nope.
Hell no. I mean, I saw it coming, the way that the media was eating up this whole, we got to get ahead of the Epstein file stuff. And I disagree with Trump and the party on this. And I'm being attacked. She was playing victim just a little bit.
Yeah, she was definitely lining it up for a few weeks.
Much. And the media was eating it up like, oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's right about it. Or I didn't have it on my bingo card that I could agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on some stuff.
Everybody wins bingo every once in a while, but it doesn't mean it disregards all the other losses. You know what I mean?
Nobody's held her to account for that thing. That's why I don't
Very
think
true.
she'll ever sit down and have that conversation with me so I could take her to task on all of the bullshit that she said before.
I would like to see
the mainstream media should be doing that as well, which I think if she gets into a presidential race, they may do a little bit more of, but
I would like to see a conversation between you two with her current mindset. I would like, because now if she
hasn't changed, she's just.
I know that, but her public mindset has changed. So if she does a public interview with you, or discussion, she's not going to be able to double down on things because it's going to ruin the persona that she's trying to build up now. So that's why I would really like to see the conversation, because it would be interesting to see how she answers some of that now, knowing what she's trying to do, you know, how she's trying to rebrand at this point.
Distance herself from.
Oh, she's totally rebranding. Total.
Yeah, but I think she's still in that America First lane.
I think she's Marjorie first. That's what this shows me. The minute
it's all about her first, I believe.
Yeah, right. the minute things didn't start going her way, it was bloop, I'm gone.
Yep. You know, and Jasmine Crockett, I love the way she put it. Oh man,
she's been on fire lately.
Yeah. I mean, I love Jasmine. But the way she put it, you know, you get 5 minutes of heat and you're out.
Yep, I saw that one.
All of a sudden, you're not going to work for your constituents anymore. You've got to bail out a year early. Come on.
She's a quitter.
Jasmine,
I think we need to nail that down too. She's a quitter.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. But Jasmine's been taking the heat since she's been in Congress. And Marjorie, you get 5 minutes of it and you're, I can't.
You know,
get the fuck out of here.
The perspective that I've been blessed enough to have is that, unfortunately, every black person that I've had in my life has had to fight harder to get what they have than all the other white people in my life. And that's not saying that white folks don't struggle, because the reality are most of us, we're just poor, as Marlon Wayans would say it.
Most Americans.
We're just poor Americans. Yeah. That's the reality. But unfortunately, our country was simply built on different ideals than a lot of us realize. And it's still going on today. And people like my wife and you and Jasmine Crockett, and the list is very long.
I mean,
you guys are built, you're built for this because of what you've had to go through to get to this point. So the people out there that think that they're going to get Jasmine Crockett, you're not. And the reason you're not is because she's not just a pretty face. She's not an empty suit. She is an educated Black woman that went to school to figure out how the system worked so that she could go in it and fix it from the inside. And then she went and found herself a hell of a person to mentor her. And that's why she is where she is today. So when you talk about people like Jasmine Crockett and Kamala Harris, who have literally brought themselves up from the ground up without a whole lot of help, without parents paying for their school, having to go out and get scholarships and work jobs in the summer and all sorts of stuff.
Which is why it pissed
me
off.
You're not going to beat these people.
Kamala working at McDonald's during college. Okay, what's wrong with that? She's working her way through school.
Yeah. Oh my God. She whether she had the job or not, which I think she did, but whether she did or didn't, who cares?
Who cares? But still, what do you think?
Donald Trump paid $25 million for a fraud university.
But that's why this administration and MAGA Republicans are fighting so hard to try and erase history. That's why they're attacking DEI so much, because they want to erase all of that, because the system has always been against Black people. Slavery ended. You got Jim Crow. They had to fight for the civil rights movement. Now they're trying to take all of that stuff away. So, as a Black man,
Clarence Thomas is literally considering hearing a challenge of the loving. Thank you. Like,
he's married to
this is the case that made marriages like ours legal.
Loving. Yeah.
So if this is challenged and is successful, interracial marriages could become illegal again. And just for those who may not know, Clarence Thomas's wife is white as snow.
I think everybody has heard about Jenny at this point. Jenny Thomas, who is literally in a cult. Okay. And
like, these people are going against their own interests. Like, prime example we have, Carolyn Levitt, somebody in her family was picked up by ICE.
Yeah. Her nephew's
mother.
Yeah.
So, like, when people say, oh, when it finally hits them personally, they'll care. No, they won't. They really won't.
I want to hear what she has to say about it. I think she's been quiet.
From what I heard, she was dodging the question a little bit. She's going to have to address it at some point. So, but something I wanted to address before
your family.
It still doesn't matter to them. You've been. Isn't that crazy though?
Lying about the whole time.
Like, everything that you are promoting just affected your family directly. Right after they just got done saying that no American citizens are being picked up too.
Irony, karma. I mean,
like, it's like, oh, you didn't know she was overstaying a visa for 29 years? Oops. Whatever. But before we move on, I just want to talk about the positive sides, because there are a few positive sides to the courts and the judges. We have some judges out there trying to do the Lord's work. And so on the positive side, the cases against FBI Director former FBI Director James Comey, and New York State Attorney General Letitia James have been dismissed after the judge found that prosecutor Lindsay Halligan was illegally appointed as interim U.S. attorney. Translation: the judge figured out that Lindsay Halligan was a Trump loyalist that was going to try to take them down for political reasons, and he said, no, not in his court.
Yeah, and they want so hard to call that a technicality, but there were so many other issues with both of those cases to begin with. That was just the thing that they could get to.
They were flimsy to the start.
The easiest thing. So,
yeah, it was evident that it was,
politically motivated. I mean, it's not. That's obvious.
A lot of the times it's just to get a freaking news cycle. Like, let's call it what it is. It doesn't take. It doesn't cost much to file a freaking case.
To maybe get people's eyes off of this Epstein thing. You think?
Oh, absolutely. Every day it's that didn't work. Let's try something else. Yeah. But
there were issues with the grand juries, at least in the Comey thing. I think they did.
Yeah, the Comey thing was super shady.
And, pretty sure Halligan lied to the judge about grand jury.
I believe they cited like two specific times that I can remember where they're like, you literally made this up.
Yeah,
like
all the legal eagles said
this would have stopped you from doing what you did right here. Yeah. If you would have stopped here, we wouldn't be having this conversation. That's basically what the court said.
Let's just say these things were going to get dismissed anyway, but because she was
how them defamation lawsuits going to go though.
Legally appointed,
defamation lawsuits. Come on, Comey, come on, Letitia James.
They're
go after them
back. See,
because they don't.
We
don't
know
need to pay
Pam Bondi's. She thinks she works directly for Donald Trump as far as heading the DOJ.
I mean,
it's supposed to be independent. But hey.
Oh yeah. No, she definitely works directly for Trump.
So he's telling her what to do, which is not the way it's supposed to work, guys.
No, totally. No.
Can you imagine if Merrick Garland?
Why do people think that the president of the United States shouldn't be held accountable to the same standards as everybody else, and even higher standards? Yeah. Like talking about a mayor being fat, calling a reporter piggy. Like,
come on, man,
dude,
ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Women's groups should be all over that.
Yep, among others. But speaking of the most recent thing to divert our attention, the Ukraine-Russia war is apparently that close to another peace deal.
Is it? Is it though?
Well, the problem is that the info coming out of Ukraine about the peace deal doesn't quite seem to line up with Trump's administration's synopsis of where we
are talking about.
Yeah.
As far as, this quote unquote peace plan that we developed, which is everything good for Russia, everything bad for Ukraine.
That had direct ties to Russia? That Russia helped outline the plan? Look it up, folks. Remember, don't just take our word for it. But here's the kicker. If you want to end the war in Ukraine, it's pretty simple. Putin, take your fucking troops and go home.
Take a hike.
You're not getting any land.
Get out of our
You're not getting Crimea. Yeah. No. Like, fuck you, go home. Wow, war's over. Hey, Donald Trump, you want to be the big dick in the room? Shutting the deals and all that stuff, go to Russia, walk into Putin's office and look him dead in his face and tell him, fucking end this now, pull your troops or I'm going to nuke the fuck out of Moscow.
Now, let's not go with nuclear weapons, but hey, we're going to get in. We're going to bring Ukraine into NATO.
Look at what else he's doing. Fucking who cares?
And we're going to put boots on the ground or something like that.
Something like end this shit or whatever alliance we have is over. Like, done.
No, we don't have an alliance.
Because I'm going to tell you what, and I'm going to say this because this is the truth. If Donald Trump did that and was successful,
he'd probably get that Nobel Peace Prize. But he's so...
No bullshit. And you know what? I would be very fucking quiet in my corner. Because if he walked into Putin's office and slapped it down like that and it worked...
It made him back down?
I can hate the man and still give him a win.
Fair is fair.
Yep.
But he ain't doing that.
He's not going to do that because Putin put him there. Again, we all know it.
I'll say it again. I've said it so many times before. When it comes to Putin, Donald Trump is about is outmatched as a 14-year-old dating a stripper. I mean, it's just Putin's
it's like
run
that old
circles
thing
around him every time. Case in point, when our State Department puts out basically a Russian talking points memo saying this is what we want for a peace plan. You're gonna limit your military. You're gonna give us this much of your land. You're never gonna join
mineral
NATO.
resources.
You're gonna take all of your resources. Really? Who
really is
agrees
what they
to a
wanted.
peace plan like that?
They're trying to gut the country.
Exactly. And who says any of that's a good idea?
It isn't, but
I can't imagine any of our career diplomats besides, the political appointees,
present company,
and Marco Rubio, who are Trump's handpicked guys. Which Marco Rubio used to be a guy who was on the right side.
Yeah, he was at least. Yeah, he was at least.
And he's done a full Lindsey Graham.
They've got something on him. That's the only thing That's the only thing that makes sense.
I don't know. It's just.
Like he is a literal lapdog now, and that he has not always been that way. No. It has been a noticeable shift. So
he was one of the guys that I was like, okay, Rubio's a principled guy. He's standing on.
There was a time that people were talking about he could run for president.
Common sense, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are we here? The connections between Trump and Russia have been there since 2016.
Yes.
And now you're
probably long before. But
what we know of that we can, the government can really trace and track. All you have to do is go back to the report. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Russia interfered with the 2016 election, and it literally said it was not to help Hillary Clinton. It was to benefit Donald Trump.
And back then in 2015, you were wondering why are they pushing back so hard on this? Why don't you say, hey, these guys are trying to get involved in our election, and they're trying to influence it one way. Even if they were,
why would Americans quiet that down?
Get out of our election now. We don't need your help. We're not even going to talk to you guys. Stay out of our business.
Yep.
But we learned a whole lot in the coming days. And then what really did it for me, but this was just the final nail in the coffin, when Trump was in Helsinki with Putin saying, well, Putin told me very strongly that, he didn't have anything to do with it. And I believe him over our intelligence community who said, yeah, this guy was involved.
Yeah.
That was it. I knew unequivocally, without a doubt. No, it's embarrassing, first of all, but unequivocally, without a doubt, they've got something on this guy, and he's in bed with him. Full stop. And that's where I was done.
That's not patriotism.
And they haven't done anything to dissuade me of thinking that.
It's treason, but
since. So.
Nope. Same here. I mean, literally, you've got U.S. envoys meeting with Russia, making deals without much input from Ukraine. And then they say Ukraine has agreed to the essence. Words matter. To the essence of the plan, but only after making significant changes to it. Translation. They're glad that we're trying to make a peace plan, but no, not with what the hell you just put in it.
Absolutely not.
Like, you've already taken a huge amount of our minerals in a mineral deal bullshit.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to gut us even more. No.
So I think Europe has got to step up a little bit more here when it comes to.
I think they're going to be forced to.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
I think they're going to be forced to, especially if we keep striking drug boats in Venezuela.
Right. Quote unquote drug boats.
This is starting to get a little sketchy on the international stage.
Yeah.
Look, I never thought it was a great idea. When I first saw the first video of them, launching the rocket and the boat exploding, I went, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because I instantly knew he did not go through the proper channels to approve that.
Of course not.
There was no way they knew what was actually on that boat. There was no way that they knew the people that were on that boat. They had some general intelligence and said, let's go sink it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the most ridiculous thing that you could think of. So,
and by the way, people in Venezuela are coming out and saying, those were civilians you killed.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong here, Marcus, but killing civilians as president of the United States, what's that called again?
I mean, they call it
fucking war crime. Sorry, war crime.
We signed the Geneva Convention, so
war crime.
There's more to come to this. I mean, there are going to be investigations.
There's going to be lawsuits. There's going to be, honestly, I could see this turning into a UN problem.
It could.
Like, I see a UN tribunal in our very near future if he keeps doing it, because he's been warned multiple times.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I believe that there was some case somewhere that said that what he's doing is wrong. So the next step is going to be other countries stepping in and being like, dude, you can't just keep blowing up random boats.
You can't
in international waters.
And some of them probably are smuggling drugs.
Could be.
But we stop those
Prove
boats.
it.
And if they engage, then you engaged. We have ROE for a reason.
Yep. And by the way, what I always find interesting is the same people criticizing, or I'm sorry, not criticizing, the same people applauding Donald Trump making these boat attacks are the same people crying about Barack Obama and his drone program. And again, I'm not condoning his drone program. I'm just saying, if you're going to be against one, you really should be against the other.
Well, the difference being,
tell them
that you were in an active battle space.
Yes, sir.
Obama wasn't just going out droning
random people,
random targets in non-combat zones or non-combatants and non.
Very important distinction. Yeah,
that's a huge distinction. You know, sure, they may have some intel that these guys are smuggling drugs, but you stop the boats, you engaged them. You don't just blow them out of the water.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you something, Marcus. If you were interested in a particular country's oil reserve, what would you do to stimulate a conflict that might cause you to send troops in so that you could seize resources?
I mean, would I instigate something to get them to react and retaliate and try and justify it like that?
I mean, if I was
sinister like
Trump, I was an evil son of a bitch. I mean, you know, yeah. I might shoot some boats down of people and say, look, we got to go in there and stop all this drug trafficking to America, and the only way for us to do it is to go on down there and stop it at its core, at its roots.
Scott Kennedy's right in the chat. You'd instigate a false flag, so I tell you to do it. So
here we are.
That was the term I was looking for, Scott. Thank you.
And speaking of false flags, Kash Patel might be headed to the unemployment line.
He might be, man. I saw his pictures at the F1 race in Vegas. Yeah, it looked nice in that pink Cadillac, just hanging out.
You know what? I was there working. I didn't get a chance to go down there. Unlike him, I had a job. So, sorry, I had to. But honestly,
I'm doing it on taxpayer dollars either. So
that too. The other thing is, I cannot wait for Kash Patel to flip like the little weasel coward that he is. His big old beady eyes are going to be there, and I can't wait for the videotape to come on for the deposition, because it's going to be, he's gonna flip. I'm telling you, it's going to be beautiful. But
haven't we seen that story play out time and time again? When these guys get on the wrong side of MAGA, it's all tell all. Then
Yep.
Oh, I didn't.
Once
feel
they
good
lose their
about doing
cover,
X,
it's all
Y, and
over.
Z, but you did it. You went along with it. And Kash Patel.
You thought Michael Cohen was bad
for the FBI director in the first place, but that's just my personal opinion. He should never been
Dan Bongino. Oh my God, there's so many. But
now that he's out blowing taxpayer monies on
private jets for his girlfriend,
flying her around the country to things, picking her up,
anybody else would be fired
in our jets. Yeah,
dude. Anybody else would be fired instantly. Speaking of firing, DOGE is apparently no longer a thing.
It's not a thing, huh?
I'm very upset, Marcus, that I never got my check. Did you get your check?
Don't think so.
I could have used
I'll
that
go
for
check
Christmas.
the mailbox today to see if it's there, but
I'm going to go check. And if it's not, I'm going to write a very strongly worded letter to the Trump administration about my disapproval of how our tax dollars were used for this DOGE information mining scheme for Elon Musk.
How our taxpayer dollars were used to give Elon all of our information. So
if you believe that that thing saved us any money, I got nothing for you.
How do you touch that level of naivete, if you will?
Yeah. But speaking of, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. seems to be in some hot water. Apparently, he had a relationship, and there was a word used that I really wish I hadn't searched, like the article told me not to, because it did, to be fair.
Tell me about it.
I don't remember the word, and honestly, I don't want to give it because I don't want people to search it. But long story short, it's a very, very interesting sexual thing, and apparently this woman was very detailed about the things that Robert F. Kennedy enjoyed. And when you thought that Mr. Brainworm, 14-year intravenous heroin addict that's against vaccines, couldn't get any worse, somebody steps up with another bat. Says, oh no, I got something for you.
As someone who used to like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, she's a total disappointment, dude.
Sure.
Total.
You know. I don't know what to say about it.
Going into the holidays, I don't know about you, but when I go over to my loved one's house, I like to take some pants that might be a little more elasticy around the waist, because I tend to eat a lot. That's like the one day I eat a lot. So I'll take like Adidas pants or some, sweatpants, whatever. Well, when I fly, I kind of like to dress the same way. I'm 6'4". Like I do not fit in those seats very well. And I don't want to wear bulky clothes. I want to be as comfortable as possible. T-shirt, Adidas pants, tennis shoes. I'm good. Apparently, Sean Duffy and the Department of Transportation thinks that the way that we can combat the issues that we're seeing in our civilization right now of people being disorderly and all these other things, if you just dressed a little nicer.
You stop wearing pajamas to the airport.
Stop wearing pajamas to the airport. That's going to fix everything.
Yeah. That's going to make America great again.
Am I missing something?
I feel like it's another one of those distraction type things, or maybe these guys just truly don't get it.
Like you went on national TV and said that. Like you weren't sitting in a room with a bunch of your friends playing cards and said, "Hey, I got this crazy idea." No, the Department of Transportation, who they think is somehow better than Pete Buttigieg, by the way.
I feel like DOT's got better things to do, but go ahead. Should have better things to do.
Absolutely. And as somebody who just got done going through Las Vegas Airport and Tucson Airport, let me say thank you to all the TSA agents. I did not have to wait long. All of my experiences were pleasant, and all of my stuff was on time. So I don't know if I was just lucky or if a lot of this has been a little blown up. But I had great experiences, luckily, especially in Vegas. I thought Vegas was going to be crazy, but both coming and going were very good. So thank you to everybody I ran into on my trip, because you all made the trip what it was. And
I just those people, because they're working hard right now, because
absolutely. Yeah, they're definitely working.
Controllers and all the delays over the holidays. Let's worry about making sure people have jobs, and we got all of the we got flights moving on time, and not worrying about what people are wearing.
No. And we had people dressed in suits, and we had people in their PJs, and we had people in between, and the flight made it just fine, and there were no flight fights or issues or anything. So Personally, if I need to tell you this, if Marcus and I need to tell you this, we will. Doesn't really matter how you dress. Your actions are your actions. So I don't know how putting a suit, it's like you can dress a turd up. It's still a turd. You know, if you're going to cause a problem on an airplane, you're going to do it whether you're in a suit or pajamas.
I mean, I've dressed in sweatpants and tennis shoes on planes. I dress like I've dressed now. I've gone in suits. Depends on what I got to do when I get off the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, will I wear pajamas? No, I'm a public figure.
Yeah,
so
business trip, you're going there and back. Yeah.
I've seen people wear pajama pants and t-shirts on a plane. They want to be comfortable.
Especially like a cross country.
Live and let live.
Yeah.
It's none of my business.
SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't care. Like, like get on the plane, put your pillow on, and let's get there.
Me. Yeah. Hey.
Have
anything to do with me. I'm going to sit in my seat. They're going to sit in their seat. So
we like to end each show talking about what can we do besides just talking on the podcast and doing social media posts. And one of the things we keep pounding home is money. Something that I know a lot of us don't have a ton of right now, especially with Thanksgiving, having to pay for dinner and Christmas next month. And if you're like us, we have like 3 birthdays in between. So, you know, with all of that said, one of the best ways that we can help these people that are fighting is to send them a few dollars. Even if it's $5, $2, I promise you every freaking dollar, as 2 people who have run for office, I promise you every dollar helps. So even if it's just $1, send it to Mark Kelly or any of the veterans that you see out there that are pushing back and against Trump and trying to remind everybody that, yes, we do have an obligation to push back against what's happening, because that's all these people did. And these people are going to be up for re-election. Some of them are up for re-election now. So they need that support. They need that money. So that besides just hitting that like button on their social media posts and sharing it, the other best way that we can support them is sending them a few bucks. So whether it's Mark Kelly or anybody else, go
Captain
donate
Bain
a few bucks.
Tennessee 7.
Yes,
there's a big
please tell them
special
more.
election going on right now with her.
Start over, because I think you were talking over me. Tell them.
Oh, I'm sorry. Afton Bain, Tennessee 7, you know, that special election going on right now. She's got a shot at winning this seat. I think it's within the margin of error now. Within the margin of error right now. I'm pretty sure it is within 3 or maybe 4 points, but I think it's under 4 points. Check that out.
And whose seat is that for?
What's that guy's name? I forgot his name, but
see, we don't care.
It's a special election in Tennessee.
Yeah, we don't care about that guy.
I don't care about the Republican who's sitting there. I want to see Afton get that seat so we can be well on our way to flipping the House. So,
and that's the other thing. Besides donating, when we show up and vote, and we show them that these Republicans aren't winning, that these Trump-backed candidates aren't winning their elections, that's why people like Marjorie Taylor Greene are going, uh-oh. So it matters. Get your butt out and vote. Support the candidates that you can with whatever you can. You know, it's no pressure, but keep sharing the posts, keep liking them, keep engaging, keep commenting, because it all matters. It's all part of the game. Yeah. Okay. So that's what we can truly do. But the most important thing is, if you have loved ones, spend some time with them tomorrow, hopefully over the weekend. We're fortunate enough that we get to see some family that we haven't in a while. And so we're definitely going to unplug tomorrow and enjoy the people that we love. And I sincerely hope that you all are able to do so as well. Thank you to all the people that'll be working tomorrow. For all of us that will likely forget cranberries or something else, you are much appreciated, because I'm usually that person. And Marcus, you got anything, brother?
Don't forget the cranberry sauce, guys. It's very important.
Don't be that person.
Whether you're doing dressing or stuffing,
yeah,
you gotta have that.
And the whipped cream, whipped cream and cranberries. Don't forget them. You gotta have those too. So we'll leave you as we always do with much love. Keep fighting.
Happy Thanksgiving,
but as always,
everybody.
Stay safe out there.
Happy Thanksgiving. God bless.